Good day, folks. It's Jason here. I'm back at you with another video. And today I want to talk about introverted intuition and extroverted intuition and how you might go about distinguishing between the two. Um, Now, if I suppose you're new to MBTI or cognitive functions in general, it may be challenging to think, whether or not you're an NI or an NE user. So hopefully today I can help shed some light on that for you. Um, so regarding what I think is probably one of the biggest differences between the two types is scope. Okay, NI seems to be far more focused and far more deep in how far it dives into any interest or idea, whereas extroverted intuition is thinking about a multitude, a plethora of ideas and possibilities that it just can't put its finger on one of them. It just wants to explore. It's like walking into a room with 50 beautiful women and not sure what to do. That's a terrible example, and I do apologize for that. But using that example, it may be that an NI user walks into that room and goes, she's fit. I'll court her tonight or something. And NE would be like, wow, where do I begin, kind of thing. That is a terrible example, but you get the picture. It's like, okay, using a better one, it's like going into a candy store and being excited like a kid might be when they want to eat loads of sweets. So that's kind of the difference there. And with regards to scope, it comes down to how far each type thinks into the future, because these intuition is dealing with the metaphysical realm. It's dealing with abstract concepts, and NI just channels in and focuses on one idea far better than NE. And it looks maybe 3, 4, 5 years into the future, whereas NE is far more concerned with the immediate futures of each of those ideas. So it can see the immediate futures of that, and it can also see the potential in other human beings as well, and their roots and what they could do. And I think this is just by nature. I mean, extroverted intuition, like its brother SE, is at the end of the day a risk-taking function. They like to take on challenges. They like to explore. They like to dive in deep into whatever it is they want to do and become obsessive about it. But once maybe the interest dies down, or they've taken on that challenge and completed it, they want to move on to the next one because their mind is just constantly thinking about ideas. Whereas NI is thinking long term. And if we're talking about life goals here, the difference between NI and NE is that NE needs to explore different avenues before it can ever pick one it's interested in, whereas NI can become a master of their sole goal and a master of their fate in that regards, because it just wants to be consistent. It needs time to be able to think and be calculated and plan and structure and think about all the possible problems and have a solution, so that when they come to that problem 2 years down the line, they already know what they're going to do. Whereas NE is very adaptable and light on its feet, so to speak, and it just follows the trail of curiosity and overcomes challenges that way, whilst also developing its inferior SI function to be a kind of storage and repository of mistakes and failures, so that it just gets better as it evolves and takes on new challenges and ideas. That's not to say that NE is just forever a junkie of ideas. It can focus on a particular subject, and the way that it can benefit from that is by combining ideas and combining interests to sort of align to some ultimate chief goal. And if I can share this example for you, I'm a teacher. So for me, I teach in China, and I'm actually starting a master's in philosophy next week, actually. So as you can see, I'm kind of combining my interests with studying and teaching, um, so that hopefully once I've done my master's, I now then can do a PhD, and then can go on to do a yeah, and then go on to hopefully become a lecturer. That's the goal. But it didn't come about, I didn't know this from the age of 16, 17, 18. It took me time to explore other avenues. Like I was in foreign exchange, I was working in business. At one point, I wanted to be a writer. When I was younger, I wanted to be an actor, you know? So it's just the case of being able to be free to explore. Well, INFJs and INTJs, just like their ENFP and ENTP counterparts, they are, well, freedom is of utmost importance to them, freedom to explore. But the way they go about that exploration is different, because NE is broad, NI is far more contained and far more focused. Okay, now onto the juicy part where we talk about NE and NI and how it complements each other so well. So NI could help NE be more consistent and focus in on its ideas, whereas NE can help NI expand its in the sense of becoming more broad and looking at other interests and seeing how they may complement whatever route they're going down. So the two together is there is a lot of room for growth there, a lot of room for consistency, and as I said, NE can help NI overcome the fear of being too risk averse or cautious about some things, because NE is very adaptable and looking for that challenge, and doesn't mind diving in deep because it can see the immediate possible futures. But yeah, I mean that's my take on the differences between NI and NE. So if you enjoyed this video, please leave a thumbs up and subscribe. Thank you.